Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment on this video saying I subscribed. Let's get into it.
India has already asked Russia to proceed with the development of Su-57 fifth-generation aircraft, as the deal for the joint development of a new variant based on the Su-57 is completely shelved, and if Russia is able to fix the issues with the program, India might procure Su-57 in the future. The Indian Air Force chief said recently that the AMCA will be the right candidate to replace the Su-30, as they are due for retirement by 2050. Lockheed Martin has already proposed to build a hybrid of the F22 and F35 for Japan, which will be open for export to other countries who are already operating F-35A, or want a new aircraft to replace their F-15 fighter jets. The proposed aircraft would involve taking the airframe of F-22 and outfitting it with some of the F-35's more advanced mission systems, though some structural changes could be involved. Japan wants a new hybrid aircraft to replace its fleet of F-15 fighters, and Lockheed is interested to get more partners in the project, to reduce the risk factors and also enhance its export potential, without compromising the export sales of its F-35. If India joins this purchase, it could lower cost to all parties, and the hybrid aircraft will still be ahead of the Su-57 and J-20 in terms of stealth. India and Russia have signed the deal for S400 systems, which is the biggest defense deal between the two countries in over 2 decades, and the deliveries of the system will start by 2020. India now faces the challenge of transferring the money for the S400 deal to Russia, as 15% advance is given within days of signing a contract to the foreign manufacturer to initiate production. In the case of the S400, its manufacturer Almaz Anti-Corporation is on a US financial sanctions list that prohibits banking institutions from dealing with it, and this will make it difficult to find banking entities in both the countries that are willing to risk processing the payments. There also has been a disappointment that the $2.2 billion plan to acquire 4 new Krivac-class stealth frigates could not be finalized at the summit. And according to sources, the acquisition was discussed at the top level and the deal will be signed at a later date. An intergovernmental agreement to manufacture the AK-103 rifles was also not finalized, as few more rounds of discussions were needed to finalize finer technical details. According to latest reports, the Roscosmos State Corporation for Space Activities and the Indian Space Research Organization will be working together on the first manned space mission. At the end of delegation-level talks between Prime Minister Modi and the Russian President Vladimir Putin, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the two space agencies for joint activities in the field of human spaceflight program. The Russian side has offered the Indian astronauts for a short visit to International Space Station on board a Soyuz spacecraft for a short training mission in 2022. India and Russia have signed 2 documents in the fields of civil nuclear energy and space cooperation, which would take the strategic partnership between the two nations to the next level. The two sides concluded an action plan for expanding civil nuclear partnership, comprising a second site for Russian nuclear reactors in India, and cooperation in other markets in West Asia, Africa and Latin America. Russia will offer the evolutionary VVER Generation 3+ technical solutions to India, and increase the level of Indian industry's involvement and localization in the project. India wants to continue importing Iranian oil, and according to reports, after 4 November, India and Iran are discussing to revert to rupee trade. Iran has been off and on taking rupee payments for the oil it sells to India, and Iran uses the rupee in the payment for imports of medicines and other commodities. According to sources, a similar arrangement is in works between Iran and India. The Union Minister of State for Defense has slammed the opposition parties for running a misinformation campaign on the Rafale deal. He also said that Hindustan Aeronautics has not been deprived of any order, as it was having work orders worth 1 lakh crore rupees. The present 36 Rafale jets in flyaway condition is far better in terms of delivery schedule, price of the aircraft, equipment package, training of pilot and technicians, support and maintenance package, and cannot be compared to the discussions that was never concluded by the Congress government. On the purchase of S400 systems, he has said that it is a choice, and it has nothing to do with the foreign policy, and it is India's right to go for the right product at the right cost and at the right time.
Omar dropped it.